Hello guys, so I am back after 4 months, yay! So I feel like I should apologize, but at the same time, I feel like this is almost expected of me at this point. I was very busy. Wow, shocker there. I was very busy, because I was in my school's musical, and also because I am a senior in high school. It means I have a lot of things I have to do, so I can graduate. So I was very busy, and I kind of had no inspiration to make videos, so because the musical swallowed up my life. But yeah, I'm back now, and I plan to try to go back to what I did before, where I had a video every other week. I will try to do that, but there's a chance it might not happen. But anyways, you guys, if you have any video ideas, please give me some, cause yeah. I sometimes have no ideas, so yeah. Anyways, so this video is supposed to be, I'm gonna be redrawing my OC, Jamie, and 3 other YouTuber styles, small YouTubers. And by small, I decided the criteria was gonna be, under 1K subscribers at the time that I started this anyways. Because Peach's palette, she made it to 1K, which, congratulations, Layla. But anyways, so she made it to 1K after, when I was, I think by the time I was actually starting to finish up on this. So when I started, she wasn't, so that's why she's in here. And I was gonna do a couple of others, but then I decided not to. I just stopped at 3 because I decided that it was already taking me way too long to do this. But if you guys want me to do any more people, I can. And you can even leave recommendations if you want. That will make my life easier, please do that. Anyways, so the people I chose, like I said, were Peach's palette. I chose Teaw Art and Noriah creates. I had to look that up. I feel bad that I had to look that up, but I did. I thought it was Noriah creates, but for some reason the little voice in my head said it wasn't, so I had to go look. I'm sorry. Okay, so those are the 3 people I chose, and so right now what you're seeing on the screen would be me drawing Jamie in my style, which I feel like now that I'm looking at it, I drew this several months ago, just so you guys know, so I'm looking at it now and I'm kind of cringing a little bit, but I kind of also was having a hard time with the skin tone too. I'm not sure if I feel like there's probably something wrong with it, but I'm not entirely sure. So if anyone, please help. Please help me. Okay, so if you guys have any idea maybe what I did wrong, please tell me. Also, you may have noticed that there's a little ibis paint watermark on the corner of the speed paint. That's gonna be on all of them now. Apparently they updated it where they put watermarks on it, which is really annoying. Because the longest time there was not watermarks on that, and now there is. So that's, yeah, okay. I'm gonna be honest, I've been thinking about changing from going to doing Procreate instead of Ibis Paint, because I have Procreate, but I could never get used to it for some reason, so I never really used it, because a few times I have, it's been disastrous. So I don't know. I kind of want to switch to it. This is kind of pushing me more to switch to that now because I hate the fact that there's a little watermark in the corner there. I don't like that. Okay. Which, I mean, it seems really petty, but also I've been thinking about switching for a while, so. But also because I am planning on doing illustration and stuff as a career path, and if I'm gonna do that, I'm probably gonna have to use something that's more professionally used, which Ibis Paint is not really something people tend to use professionally, so I'm gonna probably have to switch. Alright, so here's the finished illustration of Jamie and my art style. Now I'm gonna do Peach's palette's art style. So I'm gonna apologize to the people that I picked for this video. I feel like I botched your guys' art styles really bad. I really tried. I wish your art styles are just very out of my comfort zone, I guess. It's a lot more they're a lot more cartoony than what I usually draw, so it was kind of difficult for me. I think Peach's palette was actually the easiest one, surprisingly. The other two are really kind of difficult, though. I even made some sketches, I'm pretty sure, I made sketches for the first two. I didn't do that for Noriah's one. I feel like I'm mispronouncing that name. I'm so sorry. Okay, so, I didn't do that for the last one, though, because I was running out of time, and because I thought, okay, I got a little bit, what's the word, too confident, because when it got to hers, I thought, oh, this one's gonna be the one that's the easy one for me. No, it was the exact opposite. I'm pretty sure hers was the hardest art style, actually. So, yeah. But I feel like Peach's palette art style was actually easiest, so I didn't struggle too badly with this one. But the others, I definitely had more of a hard time. I don't know. One of the things that's also very different I've noticed all these art styles, particularly, is the face. That's the part that was always different, which tends to be that way with art styles I've noticed, is it's usually the face that's the most different, which is the case I've noticed with most of this. I will say, though, that there are, like, some little things about the bodies that I've noticed are slightly different. Like, the way that Peach's palette, I guess, draws, like, the chest is slightly different than how I draw it, so I had to really examine how she sketches it out. So that took a while for me, that part, but once I got that, it was fine. Also, the eyes were pretty different from how I draw eyes, too. So it was kind of difficult to figure out how to draw them, but I figured it out when I was sketching it in my sketchbook first, which again, I should have done that with Noriah's one too, but I didn't. I only did it with the first two, because I'm silly. So, yeah, that would have made it a lot easier for me. But I feel like the way she draws eyes is a lot different than how I draw them, kind of. It's more cubical, almost. Not really cubical. I don't really know how to describe it. And I may be drawing it wrong too, because it's not my art style, so I can't quite replicate it right. But I really did. I tried to. But, yeah. Also, the coloring style for her art style is different too. It's almost like more like cell shading, almost. Not really. I don't know. I also want to say too that when I was doing this video, I've been working on this video for a while, so the art styles, the people that I chose may have changed slightly, so if it looks outdated, I apologize. I also tried to look for references to use, and I often had to like skim through people's videos to find them. And some of them were older videos, because I couldn't find any that were what I was looking for in the newer ones. Like, I couldn't find the right sketch or a position that looks similar, because it's also part of the reason I wanted to look at how they drew kind of the same angle that I drew, but the problem is that I couldn't always find that, so I was having a hard time with that. So I feel like some of the angles look kind of weird in some of these, because I don't know how the person actually draws it, or how I don't know how they would draw it, so I was trying to draw it and thinking, how would they draw this? But I probably did it wrong, and I apologize. So, I'm gonna be apologizing a lot in this video, because I feel like I did not do a very good job. But also, I feel like some of the people, how they drew certain things were also different in certain spots. Like, sometimes they would draw one thing another way, and another thing this way. It was kind of confusing. I'm not sure why that is. I know some people have different art styles too within their art styles, but I don't know. So if something isn't quite accurate, I apologize. Okay, so I think I'm done apologizing now for my inaccuracies of style replication. So anyways, here is the finished illustration of Jamie and Peach's Palettes art style. I feel like this one, I think I did decently well on this one. In some ways it kind of looks a little off, but that makes sense because it's not my art style, it's her art style. So it makes sense why it doesn't quite match up right. But yeah, I did attempt it and I think it looks okay. Also, I want to say that I do really like your art style, Layla. I'm sorry that I couldn't quite replicate it. Okay, so the next art style I am drawing Jamie in is ℯ𝓊𝓈𝒾𝒸 Art's art style. This art style is so different from mine. I feel like it's basically the exact opposite, really. So it was kind of hard because of that, but because as you can see from the sketching, I kind of messed up the proportions a bit and had to edit it a lot and make the eyes way bigger and make the head bigger and not as long because that's how I normally draw things. So this one is more, the proportions, I don't know, it's different from mine. It was kind of hard at first. But once I figured that out, I guess it was okay. I will say, I think this one might be my favorite as far as how it turned out. But at the same time, I feel like it doesn't quite look like her art style. I don't know. It's probably because I feel like sometimes I was trying to look at the videos and I was trying to find what it looks like, but I was kind of getting confused a few times because there's a few times where she drew the eyes differently and I was kind of confused by that. I don't know. So maybe I was misunderstanding it, but yeah. So I tried to do this correctly, but I'm not sure if this is exactly accurate or not, but I like how it turned out nevertheless. It was kind of fun drawing the bigger eyes and stuff and trying to make something that looks really adorable look angry because I made Jamie kind of look a little bit annoyed originally in my drawing, so I was trying to put that in this art style and it's kind of hard to not laugh at this because it looks kind of adorable. It's actually one of the things I like about ℯ𝓊𝓈𝒾𝒸 Art's art style is that the art looks really cute. But yeah, I tried to also do the body, and I feel like the body doesn't look right. Like, especially looking at some of her videos, I don't know how that's what I thought the body looked like. I don't think I drew the body right. Which is something I would say probably from the majority of these. I don't think I drew the majority of these bodies correctly. But yeah, I didn't quite get the body right, and it's because it's very different from how I draw bodies, so it was so difficult for me. But I think this one turned out the best, and as far as the coloring goes, it was definitely kind of more, it was definitely very cell shade-esque, if that makes any sense. There was some spots where there was some softer shading as well, which is something I noticed with Peach's palette art style as well. So it wasn't actually too hard to do that part. I kind of just had to look at how she did it. But I feel like in some ways it's probably not quite right again. Same with the clothes. I kind of struggled finding how she would draw an open jacket, the hood, and the drawstrings. I wasn't quite sure how to do that. So I kind of had to guess a little bit. So it might not be how you would actually draw that. So I apologize, ℯ𝓊𝓈𝒾𝒸 Art, if that isn't quite how you would draw it. But I kind of just made an assumption of how maybe she would draw it, so yeah. So here is Jamie and ℯ𝓊𝓈𝒾𝒸 Art's art style. I really enjoyed doing this one because I liked how it turned out. So yeah. And the last art style I did was Noriah Creates art style. Like I said before, this one was the one that gave me the most trouble. I thought it was gonna be easy, I think because of some of the ways of the face were proportioned. Like the eyes, I thought the eyes would be super easy because they kind of remind me almost how I draw eyes in a way, but not really, a little bit. So I thought maybe it would be kind of easy for me to do it because of the shape that they are, but it was actually really hard for me. I kept struggling, not quite getting them the right shape and size and stuff. So it took me several tries to redraw it and figure it out. The mouth is also kind of hard because it's kind of different from how I draw mouths a little bit. Not too much, but it's a little bit different. It also was kind of difficult because I was trying to figure out how she would draw someone kind of frowning a little bit. So I was trying to look through her channel trying to find any drawings where she drew someone as frowning. And there were a few, but I couldn't quite get it to look right. So it might not be how she would draw a person frowning. So I tried, but that's kind of the whole thing of this video I've noticed is I tried. But yeah, that kind of was difficult in some ways. I tried to fix it later on, and also halfway through when I was doing the line art, I kind of noticed that she kind of has like a brown tint to her line art almost in the few digital things I know she has done. So I tried to do that because the other two I feel like they mostly use black line art. There were a few times where they didn't, but I just chose to do black line art on those two, the other two. But yeah, this one, it was kind of painful in a lot of ways, but I'm decently proud of it. I think it turned out okay. It's not my favorite. I think it's my least favorite because it doesn't quite look right, in my opinion. Mainly the body. I feel like I didn't do the bodies right. Especially on this one. It just doesn't quite look right. So I kind of had a hard time with that. And I feel like I really didn't get the facial proportions correct because, I don't know, something about it looks wrong. I may have made the nose too low or something. I'm not entirely sure. She has a very unique art style, and it's really hard to replicate a very unique art style. That's one of the things I like about this art style, is the fact that it's really unique. So it's kind of difficult for me to replicate. Like I said with the mouth, it almost reminds me of a Bratz doll's mouth, almost. I don't know if anyone knows what I'm talking about. In a way, it kind of does. So I had a hard time with that because it was kind of different. And I feel like I didn't quite do some of the shading and coloring quite right. I tried to. I was mainly looking at her profile because that's done digitally. Her profile picture was done digitally, and the others, most of her art I've noticed is done traditionally. So it's kind of hard to put traditional into digital, which I had the same problem with Peach's palette as well, because she mostly does traditional. So yeah, I had fun. I will say I had fun coloring this though, even though I feel like in some ways I might not have gotten it right. I had fun doing it. So at least I can say that. Also, I'm not sure if I got the eyes right, because sometimes, like, I feel like more recently she's kind of changed how she draws eyes a little bit. So maybe I got them right. I was trying to base the things more on what these people made recently instead of later, because I know from personal experience the art styles and the way you draw things change quickly. because like looking at my sketchbook I have right now, I've had it for just a year, and what my art looks like in the beginning versus what it looks like right now is so different. So I know that art and art styles change really quickly at times, sometimes. So I'm trying to base it more off the recent ones, and it looks like how she draws the eyes more recently, there isn't like, one second, let me look this up. Okay, I just looked it up and now I feel dumb. It's the pupil. Okay, I'm so sorry. I promise I know that. I just forgot for some reason. But yeah, it doesn't look like they're really a pupil. It's just one color and then a few highlights. So that's what I did. I don't know if that's exactly accurate, but that's what I ended up choosing to do. But anyways, guys, I had a lot of fun doing this video, even though it was kind of a struggle at times. It was really fun seeing my character and other people's art styles and trying to replicate them. So here is Jamie and Noriah Creates art style. This art style was really fun to try to recreate, but also gave me a lot of trouble, but it was fun, so it's okay. Anyways, guys, if you have any recommendations for any other art styles you want me to do, I will definitely give them a try. And if you want me to do some of the other maybe two or more YouTubers that I was thinking about doing, Please tell me in the comments if you want that. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and goodbye.